Welcome back to Hardcore Ultimate Iron Man. Today, we become a legend. Or at least join the Legends Guild. Probably the same thing. I'm looking to get in here. You need to be a legendary citizen to go into the Legends Hall, do Legends Quest, etc. I will take on this quest. They have a fancy scroll which shows that we are eligible for the quest. Presumably that is checking all of our quest completions from Legends Guild agents stationed all around the area. Now we can talk to the Guildmaster about this quest. Very well. And now we can go through the first gate here, but not into the actual guild itself. Instead, we need to talk to Radimus Urkel here. Becoming a member of the Legends Guild? Yes, indeed. And the quest that they have for us is to go to the Karazi Jungle, the unexplored southern part of Karamja. Befriend a native there, get a token of friendship to put into the guild hall, and map a bit of it. Mapping, of course, being the first thing we need to do. He's got some notes that we can draw the map on. And now we can head to Karamja. We need charcoal and papyrus for the map, which we've already collected. Have to draw 3 sections of the map. And it's going to be a hard time. Just getting into the jungle, we need an axe and a machete. Luckily, they have a free machete here for us. Super convenient. Let's pop open the cupboard and grab that machete. We had a better machete earlier when we made it from the gout tuber. Well, that doesn't really matter. Also, was not going to be holding on to that. So here we are. The first of many, many steps. It's also going to be taxing our inventory to the maximum here. So I've already put away a few things in the looting bag. Keeping the prayer potions because that's probably going to be useful. But overall, to Karamja. A dense line of bushes and trees blocks the way here. But we can just swing our machete a few times, and we're in the jungle. That's a very good spot right there. Just 2 bushes in the way. Not bad. We start to map this area. And we did it in 1. That is the middle. Drawn. Actually, looking at this, we can't actually look at the map. But we can just use the world map to see the map. Here it is. There's trees and one little bit of water here. Fancy water pool. Entered towards the middle of the jungle there. So we can quickly get to the other sides. Only real dangerous thing in here are the wolves. Everything else should mostly leave us alone. And there we go. 1 completed map. Now all we need is to make friends and get some kind of token. And at this point, we no longer need all this papyrus and charcoal. So we can just get rid of that. Make our way back out of the jungle. Because we need to talk to a jungle forester. We're a long way from civilization, even though Shiloh Village is literally right here. That's a whole nother thing. Have you seen any natives looking to make contact here? She's heard some funny sounds and maybe seen a native. They are very secretive. Generally, don't like people prying. But they found the strange sound making item that gets their attention. So that is exactly what we need. And they won't just give it up, of course. So we can trade for information. We've got the entire jungle mapped. So that's pretty good. Very impressive. And we don't need to trade the map in. They're just going to make a copy. Very convenient. So now, we get the bull roarer. Swinging around, makes a sound, and we get some attention. And since we did right here, we get some extra dialogue from the jungle forester that we should do that inside the jungle. So that's fun. We can bust right back in here. Maybe. Some hardy plants in this area. You need a rune axe or better to really accomplish much. Now we're gonna swing this around. And here comes this guy. Guju. Gujo? Gujubu? My friend. I was hoping to attract attention, and we have succeeded. He's a member of the Karazi tribe. I want to develop friendly relations. Very good. His people are very spread out in the jungle, though. So we need to get them together. That's going to be difficult. Typically they would all get together at the totem poles, but the totem poles have been polluted by an evil spirit and transformed into evil totem poles that nobody's too keen about. They can't get the spirit to leave, so instead of that, we need to make a new totem pole. But it can only be made from a special yami tree. So we're going to need to get a yami tree. They are magical trees. Very cool. And the shaman is the only person with the seeds. And that makes things more complicated too. He's being held against his will in some caves. So, should probably go check that out. Northwestern part of the jungle. 3 rocks that we can slip between to get down into the cave and find the shaman. Sounds like a plan, at least. Running strategically around this wolf. Here are the rocks that we can squeeze into. Crawl through I'm very athletic. 80 agility and all that. And we are in. We've got some bookcases, a table, and a flaming firewall, which is definitely something. Got some pieces of paper here we can pick up. Got some writing in the bed. Got some empty rocks. Bookcase. And this bookcase has a crack behind it. That'll be useful later. From the notes we found, there's an ancient one residing within the shaman. It's a curse, and he can't get rid of it. Doom. He's losing his mind to this curse. And a magic charm could release him. All very interesting. Investigating the firewall. It looks very strange and supernatural. Just fire coming out of the ground with no obvious thing that's burning. I apparently think it's very pretty, and there is a figure in the middle of the flames. He's gesturing to us, telling us not to jump in the fire. Pro tip. What can I do about this? Don't try to extinguish. Yes, extinguish the flames. Pure water. No, don't. He's obviously struggling with the curse. Whether or not that stops us from messing things up, unlikely. Don't touch the flames. Where do I get pure water from? Leave. It's from the pool. Leave. Ha 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 ha. Now he's throwing himself on the floor and starts convulsing. Yes, very good. Anything else to say? Guy over here. Who are you? He is Ungadalu, the shaman. He's been trapped here for years, apparently. My goodness. Get pure water. No, don't. Save yourself. And we can extinguish the flames with the water. It's all a mess out here. Well, we need to get to the shaman to get the seeds, to get the tree, to get the totem pole for people to gather. So we're going to go ahead and just get the sacred water. Worst case scenario, everything goes horribly. We get our friend back here. To save the shaman, I need some pure water. There is a pool of water in the middle of the jungle that we've seen. Sacred water there, very good. But it needs to be in a blessed vessel made of the metal of the sun. And that would be gold. Glorious, glorious gold. And the vessel is nothing too complicated. Can be any shape. We get a sketch of an example. So that'll work. We look at the sketch. It's bowl shaped. Oh boy. One golden bowl coming right up. 3 gold bars. Telegrabbed from a bank vault instead of a more appropriate mining and smelting to make a sacred bowl. Either way, we need a hammer. Okay, now we can make a sacred bowl. Or at least the golden bowl. The sacred part comes later. One golden bowl. Very good. Don't need this extra gold bar. That's all the smithing we need to do. We've successfully made a bowl. We're also going to need more supplies for the next step. So while we are out of the jungle, we can go and collect some stuff. And it's going to be a lot of stuff. The perfect amount of inventory space. This was a little awkward at the end when I didn't have space to have the chisel and the uncut gem I needed. We got all the different gems, lockpick, some runes. We are going into a more dangerous location, but we have a prayer potion, so that'll suffice for keeping protect from melee and all that. But we need to get this bowl enchanted and then head down deeper. Ow. Okay. I'm back in the jungle. We got our friend back over here again. We've got the bowl, and we need to bless it. So we chant after him. Om. Once again, we are terrible at following instructions. And we messed it up. And now we don't have high enough prayer. Well, I guess that's what the prayer potion's for. This'll work. 42 prayer is required. And every time you mess up, it drains some prayer points. So if you don't get it right, you have to restore prayer. Or you could just have a higher prayer level, and that solves the problem itself. But either way, we got it on our second try here. We have a blessed bowl. Very nice. At this point, we could fill the bowl with water, splash it on the fire here, and then learn that there's nothing we can actually do about the shaman in here. So we need something to deal with the whole demonic possession he's got going on. And that is further in here. The entire rest of the caverns are hidden behind a bookcase, because of course they are. First up we have an ancient gate, which we can lockpick. We should be okay here. What with our 99 thieving? One would hope. Then we get to smash some boulders. And then it's immediately replaced with another boulder. Exactly how that system is working is a good question. Could be created, since it's between these two gates. Then the last obstacle here is a very heavy gate. So we need to push it. And push and push and push. And we're through. While we're here, we're going to kill a Deathwing, because that is a task. And getting back in here is something we're going to be doing multiple times, but it's still pretty awkward. So we can just slay a bat. That's okay. They're not exactly anything super crazy as an enemy. For a Deathwing, you'd think maybe to be a little bit more threatening than just a level 83 bat. That's okay. Jump over a wall. Majestically. Then we have a marked wall. It's got a bit of a riddle on it. And the image is fascinating. Did we read that? Anyways, the riddle is runes that make a sense. The answer is smell. So soul, mind, earth, law. And we can go through. And now we're in this room, where we've got a whole bunch of carved rocks that need gems put on them. One on each. And there's no penalty for just throwing gems at it until it's right. 7 gems for 7 pillars. And the more pillars you finish, the fewer things you have to try on the next one, which does speed things up a bit. Ruby on that one. And then there's 3. Opal Jade. 2. And Emerald on the last. Nice and easy. And then with all 7 gems, it throws me into the middle of the room. Launches a bunch of magic. Very fancy. And then somehow, all of this spawns a book. Eventually. There it is. The Binding Book. It's about demons. And various things you can do about demons. Like Silverlight. Or the fiery octagram that we saw upstairs. You can make sacred water, throne potions, and other such things. But now that we have this, we can deal with that demon. So instead of just going over there to the firewall, since that requires all this extra stuff, we're going to leave again and get a bit more prepared. The last thing we need here is some of the pure water down here. We can slice up some tall reeds to use as a siphon here, filling our bowl with water and destroying a reed. That's okay. So we've got the water to get past the fire, the binding book to deal with what we find inside. Just need to squeeze our way back in here. Managed to safe spot the wolf, like a professional. And then we managed to get stuck inside. This is not a great entrance to this cave. Pretty inconvenient, all things considered. Either way, we're in here now. We can use the bowl on the firewall, which temporarily makes an entrance. And then we will free Ungadaloo. But now, the demon didn't like that. So here he is. Drains all our prayer. We get it right back with our prayer potion. So that's okay. Probably still going to need to prayer flick here, because our equipment is not great. Probably could have grabbed the rune gloves. That would have helped a bit. And our prayer flicking is also not great. Need to do better. So yeah, this is fight against a demon. He is a big old black demon. Nezik Ned. This guy. So we'll get this done. And down goes the demon. And as a final bit of annoyance, he throws a fire spell at us. Only did a little bit of damage, so not too bad. Not too bad. And now, no attack, no attack. Why is attack first option? Ow. Sorry about that. I guess since technically he's an NPC, the always click NPC options works here. Either way, we have freed you from the demon. Demonic possession. Not a fun time. I need some tree seeds. Thank you very much. It's a difficult task to grow a yami tree, but we will easily be able to accomplish it. Here are the seeds. Very cool. Need to soak them in the sacred water, which we already know all about. And there you go. Yami tree seeds. Golden bowl. They're germinating now. Fantastic. Ready to be planted. Our bowl of water is empty now. So can we leave the fire? Hey, the spell protects us from the fire. Fantastic. Well, okay. Now we just need to go and get some more water. Then we can grow the tree, and everything's going to be great. Another hollow reed to get the water. But, unfortunately, the pool has dried up and been replaced with thick black sludge. So, that is not the pure water we're looking for. That changes back, but it's actually still sludge. Don't worry about it. We've been doing good here. And we've not yet grown the tree, because the whole water here. The pool is sacred. And this is not what's supposed to be happening. So there's evil at work at the source of the water. And of course, the source is even deeper down in the caves, guarded by the undead and all that. So that's just great. High-level sorcerers, undead to overcome, magic. A very difficult situation. In order to even get in there, we need to have the bravery of a lion. And since, presumably, we don't have that, we're going to need a potion for it. Snakeweed and Ardrigal, two of the jungle herbs. And that makes a bravery potion. Easily doable. Easily doable. And as much as we feel like we are brave enough, it's a supernatural fear. So you need the magic of the potion, I suppose. So we can do that. the harpy bug swarms continue to make this area more annoying than it would have previously been. There is both the herbs and some magic equipment for later. Making this potion with both of these. And there is bravery potion. Apparently it's so bad you'd have to be brave to even drink this potion. So that's nice. Delicious. All the way back down. In the room where we got the binding book, we need to progress through this ancient gate, which has a bit of a riddle on it again, which means cast a charge orb spell. The orb is a completely necessary part of the spell. So that threw us over here into this room. And now, since I did not bring a rope, we get to experience some of the strangest content in the entire game. Legends Quest barrel smashing. There can be any number of things in these barrels, like a rope or a moss giant. I'm going to open some more just to see the weirdness. How did a moss giant fit inside that barrel? That is the question. We also got a rock, so that's always fun. Also, I did go and pick up rune gloves for a little bit more damage, strength, accuracy, just everything good. Much like a lot of things in this quest, messing up the smashing damages your level. This one contained a mugger and an iron dart. We're going to stop now before our attack gets too low. Oh, one more. This one contained a giant rat and a rock. Fantastic. It's like the strangest loot box. This one contains a rock and a bat. Who's putting all these creatures inside these barrels? That's what I want to know. Anyways, we got what we needed, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. Who is ready for the barrel room locked hardcore Ultimate Iron Man PvP World account? I'm sure there's some weirdness you can get into here. Not really. Anyways, rope on the winch. Then if we try to climb down, we find we are unable to do so because we are too afraid. That is what the bravery potion's for. Bravely drink the bravery potion. And now we can climb down. Yes, indeed. And we've fallen right down here. Fantastic. Good start. At the top of some ridiculous cliffs. Now we need to make our way down these cliffs, trying not to fall off. You would think 80 agility would be good enough, but really you never know. I mean, we just fell down a rope, so... Climb over some rocky ledges. Very dangerous. Very exciting. If you fall off of here, it does pretty substantial damage. But you have a few opportunities to not fall. You can either just get across correctly without messing things up, or you can grab onto the ledge and pull yourself up. Which then, again, drains some stats. That's fine. Theoretically, you would think as you got lower down on the cliffs, you would take less damage if you fell. I wouldn't put it past falling just this far annihilating me, though, so let's continue to try to not mess up. There we go. And now, we are down at the bottom with only a little bit of problems. So that's good. And now, we get to fight. Different attack speed than the demon. A lot of the whole prayer flicking thing wouldn't have really been a thing, since Legends Quest is from RuneScape Classic. And that is also why a lot of it is kind of janky and uses chat boxes instead of actually animations for things. Quite the adventure. And now we're down at the bottom. We have to defeat 3 undead here. And with a bit of decent prayer flicking, we should be good. 1 down, and we get a chunk of crystal. Take on the next one. They've all got interesting weapons and armor. And there's a whole bunch of them, which is another relic from Classic. Realistically, you don't need more than one, but when a ton of people are all trying to do Legends Quest at the same time, really sped things up having multiple spawns. Something that's been a slight issue in other quests during things like Leagues and Deadman modes. Everybody fighting over one spawn, queuing up to do a quest. All sorts of wacky stuff like that. That is the second defeated. And now there's just one more. These are all previous adventurers of some description that came down here looking for the source of the water. Where they failed, we will now succeed. And it seems like they were bound to service of the caves or something. Because they have these lumps that we're getting, which are critical pieces to progress further here. Protect from melee. Managing, as per usual. And once the third one is down, we'll have all the chunks we need to do the next thing. Almost. There we go. 3 lumps, or rather a lump, a hunk, and a chunk, which we need to put all together in this furnace over here. 3 pieces in a furnace, fusing the parts together into a heart. Look at the heart crystal. It says, bring life to the dragon's eye. And if you look on the minimap, there's a dragon made out of the ruins here. Place the heart on the eye, and now it's a magical heart, which you can then slap over here into the wall, opening up another magical barrier. The absolute quantity of magical barriers down in these caves, I swear. Run past here, and we've got the source. currently being blocked by some boulders. Trying to move the boulder away, we get a ghost. I am disturbing your rock because I need the water here. Yes. But they don't want us to do that. So, we offer to help them out, of course. They were murdered by Vialdi. They're also dead, but they want them even more dead, apparently. We need to go and destroy his spirit. Sounds like the whole thing. This is an opportunity to choose two different paths. There is a short path and a long path. The short path is, of course, shorter, but includes more combat. And the long path is longer. Shocking. We're going to go with the short path. So we are going to help out this spirit. In order to destroy the spirit that the spirit wants destroyed, we are given an obsidian dagger to go destroy the wizard. And we can go do that. Running back past these demons. Still praying because it's in multi. Getting a completely different demon. And I can't reach him because he's on the other side of the wall now. Fantastic. I think I already have that set, so. Go away. Kind of busy. We need to climb back up all these rocks, which is dangerous. If we end up falling too many times, and too many times is like twice at this point, we're going to have to leave for more food. But so far we seem to be managing with ease and confidence over these ridiculous terrain. Wield the dark dagger, take the hat, and attack. He's giving us a bit of lore about what's going down here. The 3 warriors that we already defeated. And the whole Dragonheart deal. And now we stab. I'm using my dagger on you. I stab him. And we've fallen for a trick. Ah, the pain. The dagger glows. And Vialdi is dead. Now we just need to make our way back across these again. At this point we could fall, and it wouldn't be the worst thing. We would live, and honestly it'd be quicker. But also having more resources available for the fight wouldn't be a bad idea either. Rocks, rocks, rocks. All across the rocks. So deep underground. Another fantastic display of our agility. Managing to get down here. And now it's back to the spring. Push the boulder. Because that's the only way we know how to get this guy out. He takes the dagger, absorbs its power, And surprise, it's the demon again. Shocking. The demon had something to do with making the water unavailable. And so, we get into another fight here. He drained a bit of prayer, but not a huge issue with prayer potions. So, once again, we're just going to town. Honestly, doing a lot better now. And I'm going to chalk that up to the rune gloves, making us significantly stronger. The demon tried to throw that dagger at us, but we dodged, apparently. Very interesting. He should probably have some more daggers to throw. Do some ranged damage or something. Because really, he does not have much going for him at this point. We were just sitting over here, winning. Protection prayers. They really do work. And so, the demon is dead. But he said he's going to be coming back for our next encounter, so probably not that dead, unfortunately. So now, it's time to wrap things up. And instead of climbing all the way back out of here, I'm of course going to teleport away to get the final supplies for the final parts. With the source of the water taken care of, we can grab more in our golden bowl. And that is what we're going to need to grow the tree. Interestingly, growing these trees is a herblore requirement. Since this quest came out before farming was a thing. We got a big old tree, perfect size. Chop it down with our axe. Chop off all the branches. And then carve the totem pole. And there we have it. One attempt there. Very good. Our herblore is a bit above the minimum requirement, so that checks out. Here is one of the cursed totem poles, which we replace with ours. This summons the demon, who gets to attack us a bunch of times while we can't move or do anything. A very RuneScape classic system. And then we fight against the warriors. If you go the long route and don't stab the wizard, Nezukin does not get power over the warriors here. And it's a much simpler fight. One thing we need to be careful of here is every time we kill a warrior, the demon comes back and gets to attack us a whole bunch of times. So we want to have Protect Melee up at that point. Because otherwise, we get attacked a whole bunch. And we're wearing Graceful still. So that would not be a good strategy. Demon attacks. Starts chanting again to grab out the next protector. It's all very simple, really. Much more difficult in RuneScape Classic, because your prayer probably would not last the entire fights here. And it's all one long combo. And if you leave combat in this section, it all resets. So you need to be able to survive the entire thing without doing anything, which is a bit of an ask. And that's why you would probably have wanted to go with the long route. But we can just sit here, flicking prayers, eating food. It all is very convenient. Second defender down. Demon attacks us some more. Can't do anything about it. Brings in the third. And it's still non-issue. Protect for melee. Bit of flicking. No problems here. He brings these guys out in order of the strongest one first. Not that it makes much of a difference when they all just attack with melee anyway. But still. Kind of throwing his strongest pawns at us first. Trying to deal with us, if at all possible. Which, of course, it is not. The last defender down. They forever live in torment, which isn't great for them. So now, he'll kill us himself. Which is nice and all, except prayer potion. And so it's one last fight against the demon. Somehow standing inside of the totem pole, which is pretty fancy. As long as we don't mess up our prayer flicks too much, we should be okay. Apparently he might have a magic attack, but since we're in melee distance, he doesn't really seem to use it. So food is still a reasonable idea. Not that we're having much trouble. 3 times we needed to fight this demon. Very persistent. Very persistent. But he's no match for me just kind of sitting here wearing no armor. A few more whacks, and the quest is going to be pretty much over. Let's stay nice and high health here, though. No reason to risk anything. Feels like this is going a bit slower than the second fight. That's okay. It's fine. Luckily, other demons are not quite as persistent. Typically, we take them down in one shot. But down he goes. Defeated by a mere mortal. Swears his revenge. But we've heard it all before. So now, with the demon that was plaguing everyone here taken care of, we can replace the totem pole with a good totem pole. And everybody was watching us fight the demon instead of helping, of course. Our strength and ability as a warrior are considered legendary. And that is really what we were going for. We've earned their trust, saved everybody, and we get a gift of a very impressive golden totem pole. Very cool. And that accomplishes everything we needed at the Legends Guild. So we can pop back over there nice and quick. with the fairy ring in our house. Always a good time. Legends Guild. Open the gate. Is our quest going well? Yes. Yes, it is. Open the door. Talk to Radimus. We've got some very interesting things. The Gilded Totem Pole. And we've even drawn the map. We have succeeded spectacularly. And now we can enter the Legends Guild. We can see our fancy totem pole sitting in a prominent location. Truly, we are legends. And now we can get some training. There are many, many options here. Combat stats, woodcutting, crafting, smithing, agility, thieving. But of course, herb lore is going to be our answer. 54 herb lore. But we can continue training 3 more times. And it is all going into herb lore. 7,650 experience at a time. A lot of menus instead of just a pop-up with options like a XP lamp or something. That's okay. But there's 55 herb lore. And we can make super strengths, which is cool. And now the last bit of training. Surprise, it's going in herb lore. And there it is. Quest complete. 4 quest points. Access to the Legends Guild. And all that experience. Very cool. A few interesting things in the Legends Guild. We got a dungeon with Shadow Warriors. Not too relevant, but interesting nonetheless. And then upstairs, we got a few shops. This shop here, which sells some swordfish and attack potions. Basically a significantly worse Warriors Guild. Over here, we got this guy who sells various keys, the shield right half, if we ever wanted to make a Dragon Square shield, and the Cape of Legends, which typically at this point would be our best in slot cape, but we went ahead and got 99 thieving, so that is already obsolete, unfortunately. Then over on this side there's a bank chest, which we can't use. I mean, we can unnote some potions, I guess, but not really what we need. And this entire quest was technically unnecessary. As soon as we got inside the guild here and got the notes to go to the jungle, that was all we really needed to do in order to come over here and start saving ceramic vase. But I went ahead and just finished the quest, because why not? To save the mage, we need to make him, well, to save the knight from the mage. We're not saving the Necromancer. There's a different fate for him. But we need to make a creme brulee. And a special one at that, a creme brulee supreme. We're going to get the specifics from the cook. One of the ingredients that she does know, though, is the egg of the evil chicken. And the wise old man knows something about that. Anyways, let's go talk to the cook. a creme brulee supreme. Sounds very interesting. A complicated recipe. It needs milk and cream, corn flour, which is made from putting sweet corn in the mill, and then a vanilla stick from the Karazi jungle, and the evil chicken egg, and then wrapping things up with the Dramen branch made into cinnamon and sprinkled on top. And then, the interesting part, getting it cooked with dragon fire. Quite the experience, wouldn't you say? So we've got a lot to get placed together here. Had to go and plant some sweet corn. Getting the seeds wasn't a problem, since there's a master farmer right here. That was a bit of extra. Only way to get sweet corn, though, so what are you gonna do? And bring the sweet corn to the windmill. Put it in the hopper. Operate the controls. And just like that, in the flour bin, corn flour. Works just as well as it does with wheat, so that's convenient. Mix the milk and the cream that we got from the Colomancer chest into there, and that is corn flour mixture. Next item is back in the jungle. The entire reason that we needed to start Legends Quest for this, a vanilla plant hanging out here all the way south. And drop that in. And now we have a brulee. And now for the difficult part, involving the evil chicken and dragons. But first, we need to find out where the evil chicken even is. Wise old man. I'm looking for the evil chicken. He's got a lot of information about all kinds of things. What do we want here? Ask a question about strange beasts. The evil chicken. Somehow the evil chicken has magic. So there's a lot of speculation on how the evil chicken came to be. Is it a demon? Is it a chicken that is trained in strength? Whatever it is, it's very angry and will kill people and chickens alike. We need to go to the fairy kingdom to find the evil chicken's lair. And we need to bring raw chicken with us as a sacrifice. Very spooky. And we can easily get over to Xanaris with, guess what? Fairy ring in the house. Surprise. From Xanaris, we need to go to the entrance fairy ring, because that is where the chicken shrine is. Why exactly they have a shrine to the evil chicken? That's a good question. It spits out eggs, which is interesting. Unfortunately, even though the only chicken in here seems to be the evil chicken, these are not the evil chicken eggs we're looking for. So things are a little bit more difficult than that. Run past some dragons. And over into the back here. To the evil chicken. Using magic attacks. Being a giant mess. But it's not too strong. So we can just whack it with our sword. Using some protection prayers. No issues. He's got an evil nest. Everything's surrounded in bones, which is great. That's how you can tell it's evil. All the skeletons all around. This chicken is telling me to be gone. But the only one that's going to be gone is him. And down goes the chicken. Evil chicken's egg. Throw it in the brulee. I question that. Exactly what we're doing with evil ingredients. But I guess it's fine. And lastly, we need to take on one of these dragons. Which is a tall ask. Black dragons are pretty strong. So we're going to get into a nice safe spot in the situation here. And we could use range or something, like ranger magic. But our melee stats are so much higher than our range, and magic is expensive. So we're just going to go with some melee. If we get this dragon to move so this dragon could come down more, that'd be great. We got the anti-dragon shield, which will help a bit. I think we can get the dragon in position. Perfect. So this is going to be more prayer flicking. And then whenever it uses its dragon fire, it'll do a little bit of damage. And that's what the food's for. This could be a fairly decently long fight, because it is level 227, and its defenses are pretty substantial. I'm just going to cut to the end here. A lengthy battle later, down goes the dragon. And that is a combat achievement. Big, black, and fiery. Yes, indeed. Now we can get out of here, away from all those dragons. High health value of 90 on this black D-Hind, so that's not really worth it. But there is a dragon token. Very good. We can use these dragon bones over in our POH and get a little bit of free prayer XP here. 180. Not bad. Okay. We've got our brulee. We've got the token. But there is one more item that we do not have. And that is the cinnamon. To get the cinnamon, we have the Dramon Staff. Now, whether we do this now or later, we're going to need to get another Dramon Staff. We we can do it now, I guess. We don't need the Drammon Staff to get the Drammon Staff, so this will work fine. Also, we're right in the correct location here, which is also good. Come over here to Jagex. Get the Pestle and Mortar. And there is nothing. Apparently, our whittling, turning this into a staff, has actually destroyed the cinnamon property. So we are not going to be able to turn the staff into food. Which is unfortunate, because that means we are going to Entrana. And all the issues that that always entails. So, first step of this, our looting bag has a dragon mace in it, so we can't bring that. So we need to get rid of the looting bag as a start. So that means we go to Edgeville, and since we only have a few things in here, I'm not too worried about going super far away from where other people would be. Still not going to go into multi, because that's a mistake. As long as nobody runs past us while we pick up 4 items, this is fine. Stuff on the ground. And we're out. Now this next part is going to be more complicated. On our typical trips to Entrana, we put all of our combat items on this table and have 10 minutes to get back. Unfortunately, we are now collecting some untradeable combat items, like the Ivan Staff. It's mostly the Ivan Staff. Rune Gloves are easily repurchasable. Damage Book is literally free. But I'd really like to keep the Ivan Staff for now. So if we want to keep this, we need to be very quick. Can't put it on the table, so that is the 10-minute option impossible. So instead, we're going to need to drop this on the floor and try to get a Drammon branch and get back to it in 3 minutes. Apparently, untradables stay on the ground for 3 minutes, whereas tradables are only seeable by you for 1 minute, and then another minute for everybody else. Assuming that's correct, and I have timed this, it is possible to do this. In order to help speed this along, I've gathered the runes for Fire Blast. Should be very effective. We could have gone for something like Water Wave. It's only a little bit stronger, and it requires blood runes. So, first step is, of course, put the tradables on the table. The staff, the amulet, the tools, and the weapons. And then we head downstairs at a run. These are slightly more dangerous, since people could technically come and pick them up, but it's not likely. Drop this, and instantly take the boat. Never has the boat cutscene felt longer than when you have an incredibly limited time on Entrana. This 3-minute situation will work for some other trips to Entrana, in theory. But there are times where you have to be here for longer than that, or take a different route. So, sometime in the future, the Ivan Staff will be leaving us. at least temporarily. But if we can do this right, it won't be today. That's a risk I'm willing to take. And we run. We pop on more magic. Throw some spells while running further into the cave. Kill that zombie. Throw some spells at another zombie. Well, we see if we get the axe. We do get the axe. Grab the axe. And we run. We're at blistering pace here. First kill axe really does make this feel better. Grab that. Teleport to Rat Pits to Port Sarum. Draw the circle. And we are heading right back to where we need to be. Ultimately, even if we did lose the Ivan staff, we'd be fine. We could either go get it again, or we could just not use Ivan's. But it is really strong, and it's really nice to have. Take that back, take that back, take that back, and that back. Make the cinnamon, add it to the brulee, and go pick up everything up here. Another trip to Entrana. Successful. And everything reclaimed. Perfect. And even if that was a 2-minute despawn on the untradables, we still would have gotten that, so that's fantastic. And now, there's just one more thing we need to do. We've got the items that we need to bake the brulee. But if we want to not be horribly, horribly burnt, we need a little bit extra. And that is ice gloves. Typically, you don't want to be holding things while they're being cooked. And this is no exception. So we're going to go bully the Ice Queen yet again. Also, we're probably going to need prayer for this. That's fine. Ice gloves equipped. Anti-dragon shield for extra good measure here. And we rub the dragon token. This sends us to some other dimension kind of place, where we have Ka-Click. This is their token. They gave it to an adventurer, and that adventurer was killed by that black dragon, and then we killed the black dragon, and now here we are. Anyways, they are a fairy dragon. Ain't that something? We have summoned them, and now we can ask for their help with one task. We have some silly options here, like experience and a horse. But this is going to be our only shot at flambeing the creme brulee. So we just hold it out in front of us and get blasted by dragonfire, because there was clearly no other way to do that. And there it is, Brulee Supreme. Walk on in here, use the brulee, and the ceramic vase is freed. 4,000 cookie and hit points experience, 1 quest point. And that is the last person saved. So we can restart time now, and never have to worry about this ridiculous time bubble ever again, which is pretty swell. But we also have to deal with the Culinarimancer. So that's going to be a whole thing. We have defeated your feeble spell and your evil plans. So get out of here. Or you could stay so we can just deal with you now. Alright, it's fine. They'll be back. Hooray, he's gone. Not so easy. We must go through that portal and finish him off. Once and for all. And now, we can stand in this room again. Since the time bubble is gone, we go back to the regular dining hall here. With its significantly smaller table, different shape. But we can't go through the portal yet. We need 175 quest points. And also desert treasure. Let's see if that says anywhere on here. Because from this point, it only needs 175. Yeah. So that's a secret requirement. I could bust out to 175 here. And then I'd try to go through the portal and be like, nope, desert treasure. We have the stats, but not the quests. So before we can take on desert treasure, there's the tourist trap and Temple of Ikov, which both have their own situations. But we will deal with those next time. Goodbye.